Okay, uh, let's discuss a little bit more about the Language Center, K to 12, and we are at the stage 2 to 3 years, first 2 to 3 years of the child, and we discussed that we are developing a language center. All right. What's happening inside the language center? Actually, most of the things children will develop themselves, but we are discussing generally the outlay and some of the things. If they are handy, it's always easier for the teacher, because the teacher has to be deburdened also, has to be equipped with some things, certain things, and some skills and some material, so that she can best use children's time. The focus is our guests, children coming to the language center. So the language center, a little bit of a drawing that I do really. Where did I learn from? You'll be amazed. I learned it all from kids who were in our learning lab. So they told me two things: color theory and how things are drawn, the 3D things on a 2D scale. I've learned it from them. Any language center, the first thing we must not forget is that we learn using which of our organs? Eye, ear, and mind. Sama wal absara wal afida. Make sure that a lot of light comes into it. If it's not well lit, then we are really looking cruel. I visited a school a couple of months back, and this is the first thing I noticed. The children, when after some time they will see, many of them will be having sight problems. So that's the first thing. They have stuff over there. We have to make somewhere a corner for the teacher, the poor guy, that is where the teacher's name and sound planner should be, so that she can plan what is the next sound, what are the next stories she will be thinking about the next few weeks. Obviously there has to be some stuff over here for her to keep, like scissors, like some buttons, like some shapes, animals, anything. And most of the walls and the floor actually will be used by the children to put a lot of stuff. It's good if we have some soft pin board where children can make stuff and they can pin it. There's absolutely interesting if we have at the height where children can really use it, some blackboard and some chalks, colored chalks. Why I'm saying blackboards? Anything which is a little bit environment friendly. We can always go for whiteboard also, but is the whiteboard more environment friendly than blackboard? Think about it, and whatever is environment friendly and where the things are more reusable. Yeah, now the children small children, it's always good that we leave lots of space here for them to do activities. Yes, we need some chairs and some stools and some desks also, but lots of the children's stuff, they will be working in the groups, and everything should go to some designing process with some primary colors. Every wall, every corner should actually talk to the children about language. So that's how it should be, and even we should have things where they can even hang things. That's how sort of it should be. Yeah, some stuff, for the teacher to play with and to make the story with and to sing. Yeah, some stories and songs are important that she has in her drawer. Some of those stuff that she can read out, right, for them, relating to whatever is coming on the planner. Reusable things are always easy. For example, I would say tangrams. Now, tangram is very interesting stuff. I introduced it a little bit, but a bit more. These are only 7 pieces, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm missing one piece then. Okay, I've got one piece over. And it's very interesting, you can make a huge lot of stuff with it. Any shapes, they can start counting. For children, this is as good as a lady, and you can say this is as good as a bird, or as a something like a cat. They can call it a squirrel. So we have to give them ideas to teachers. Now you look at this thing. This is tangrams, the same 7 pieces. They can make A, B, C, D, E, F. They can't write it, but they're going to make it, right? And they can make animals. They can make even gestures, and ladies, and somebody walking, listening, standing. More than a kind of 1,000 activities just with these 7 pieces. So not very difficult, but it's not in our radar. So we obviously at a loss. We're looking for I don't know what books and something. Some books for the are important for basic skills which my teacher needs. We need to play with the strings and beads and string art, things which are necessary for the children to develop fine motor skills, gradually playing with these kind of stuff. So, but a very important skill, I would say, is the skill to draw. If teacher is not good at drawing, then it's a sort of handicap, I think. If I have to say 2 things, teacher should smile, and teacher should be able to draw, and she should have a lot of space on the walls to draw. You see, drawing is easy. Let me take you to these stick figures. How difficult it is. I mean, I never learned these things to draw, but you see, this, and this is child. That's all. So these stick figures are very easy, and for the children to kind of learn, and for teacher to play with. And imagine then with the simple strokes, they will start learning animals. That's all. And this is how a horse will look like. You have to tell them the basic strokes, and they can later refine. That's all. It's a horse. And interesting stuff. All those gestures, and all those the people, and the playing, and the butterfly, and the rabbits, and the turtles. You see how easy it is. I have never drawn turtle in my life. This is my first turtle. The skill to draw is very important. That's important thing to know. We can always talk video libraries and audio libraries and this library and that libraries, but a very important thing is we can draw, we smile, respect the child, and one thing that we will keep talking again and again and again to just hammer ourselves is, if we have created this language center, does not mean that we have created another disconnected island from the world. Our real thing is connect. None of these things is a substitute of the real thing. Telling them draw a leaf and asking them, let's bring leaves and let's draw them. That's an interesting fun. Then they will see, oh yeah, this is a line and these are lines, and oh, and imagine the pattern, the nature, and this is dark color and this is light color, and they are green and they're yellow inside. Then you have lots of story around it to talk for hours and hours and days. Your success will be that one day you are negotiating with the principal, saying, let's say I can imagine we want to bring a camel in the class. What? You want to bring what? Camel. Why? Children say so. No. camel in the class? If that is how principal is reacting, there is something wrong. She should start thinking about why not camel in the class, right? There should be a camel in the class. If the children, we are successful in bringing children to that extent that they are demanding, we need to know about the camel, right? So camel otherwise an interesting thing. I found almost Quran is talking about camel. Something like this, don't you see we created camel? Bible is talking about it. Chinese ancient things are talking about it. Hindu scripture is talking about it. And it's a very interesting thing to bring it into school. Think of these things. We have to bring real stuff. Someday a real potter, someday a real toy maker, someday a real pilot, someday a real singer, right? They connect when they tell their story. We are talking a little bit earlier stages. I'm kind of after 4, after 5, but making real is the fun. Baby TV is not successful even in teaching colors to the babies. It's just a babysitter. It's a waste of time. Be real. For the children especially, we have to be real. If we can't bring in a car, we can show them a car and fine, it's a substitute, but at least they can touch it, see it, and drag it and play with it, and yes, that's good for them. And having these small things which they can, now this is a tic-tac-toe for that child. This is not a tic-tac-toe. This tic-tac-toe is meaningful for the child, but it's creating different connections than the tic-tac-toe that I'm. This is the next stage, because now the child has grown and can imagine, and the next stage is we can simply grow abstract. Yes, there are things that we can't buy, and there are cherries. Yeah, why can't we bring this substitute of the cherries? Fine, because we can't bring it, right? But if she is drawing cherries and there are cherries in front of it, the fun of the drawing and looking at it and touching it and etc., that creates enjoyment. That connects to the process. They will come to your school daily with anticipation. Let's see what we play today. Thank you very much.